Hey guys, EBPMAN here. Now, if you're looking for an electric bike that's going to have great range, is super comfortable and easy to get onto, then check out this video because today we're taking a look at the MeeBike Gallop. This is a step-through e-bike that has great suspension and just has a fantastic ride. Let's go and check it out. Now, the Gallop has a 750 watt motor, 80-mile range, and supports up to 275 pounds. Now, if you're wondering like what's the tallest rider that it can support, you're looking at around 6.4 feet. Now, from a speed perspective, you go from anywhere from 25 all the way up to 28 miles per hour. It does have a 7-speed Shimano system with dual rear suspension. So it has the front shocks, hydraulic, right? But then it also has in the back, it has dual suspension, which gives this a fantastic ride. Now it has hydraulic brakes too, which again is one of my favorite type brake methods. It has a front-facing LED, which is again your lamp, which has a very powerful lamp that can go up to 500 feet. Fat tires, my favorite, right? And basically they're puncture resistant. 20x4 Kenda tires. Great ride, great grip, and these are all-terrain tires, right? So you're going to be able to use them in the snow, you're going to be using them in the sand. If you want to go, you know, and almost like in dirt or very rustic areas, you'll be able to do that as well. It does feature passive assist mode or pedal assist mode. So as you're actually pedaling, it has 5 modes, and it's going to give you additional power as you're pedaling. Weighs 75 pounds, and it's also IPX6 rated. So let's go ahead and take a closer look. We'll take a ride, and you'll see why we like this bike so much. Now, the first thing that we're going to focus on is on the powertrain. And so we have a 750 watt rear hub powertrain here. And you do have Kenda puncture-resistant tires. They have great tread, which is going to be great for snow, sand, mud, you name it. Yes, even on the city, driving on pavement, they'll be fine. You do have some nice fenders that are going to keep you nice and dry in case you do run over some mud or water. And these are worry-free, no metal here going on, so that's really nice. Now, the other thing that we'll highlight is the suspension system. And this has one of the most unique suspension systems that we've had on an e-bike that we've reviewed. Great dual suspension on the back. You can see how nice and healthy these springs are. That are going to give you really great experience as you're riding it. Keep in mind that this does have a nice front fork as well that has also an adjustable suspension. So you basically have front and back suspension giving you a fantastic ride. Now the saddle for this bike is not traditional, right? It's not a traditional bike saddle, more akin to a moped or let's say a scooter. So you really see how, or even a motorcycle for that matter. So you have a really nice saddle. You do have I would say a compartment here in the back that's going to support carrying any kind of products with you. So if that's something that you want to maybe carry groceries like we do. And the cool thing about this is given the design and also the support rack that you have back here, you do have the ability to carry total load capacity of 275 pounds. Now the bike does have a 7-speed Shimano system, right? Very smooth gear changing, and it also has on the back here an area that keeps things protected. So I like the fact that you don't have to worry about bumping that on the side. All the cables, you can see they're really nice cable management. Everything is tucked away really nicely. And for the most part, when you look at this bike, it doesn't scream electric bike. Now in this angle, you'll notice that you have 2 screws here, which is going to be great if you want to have any kind of accessories, a bottle holder or any other accessories that become available for the bike. So these are removable. You can put maybe a drink here or any other type of accessories that MeeBike makes available. Now you do have a back and front disc brake system, and they are hydraulic. Kickstand is a little bit closer to the middle than what I've seen with other bikes. Typically, it's a little bit further to the back or somewhere in the middle. Doesn't bother me, hasn't gotten in the way when I've been pedaling, but that's just something to be aware of. Now, you do have a key area here that's used to actually remove the battery, and the battery is tucked here in the very bottom. On the bottom here, you have your plug where you would actually charge the battery. So everything is nicely tucked away, and that's why I said this really doesn't really scream out electric bike because of how everything seems to be very nicely integrated. Typically, I've seen other bikes where the battery is on top and it just screams electric. This is really nicely covered, and just the entire design. And you can see even here on the back, the suspension, the way the frame connects to this part of the frame gives you a lot of flexibility. Now in the front of the bike, you have your front suspension. One of the things I find that's really interesting is look at how high up the actual adjustment is. You don't have to really reach down. You have some good travel too on the suspension, so I like that. I like the fact that it has kind of like a motorcycle look when it comes to the actual headlamp, and then all the cables are really nicely tucked away. Now, for those of you who are curious on the treads, treads are nice, they're pronounced, and like we said, you're gonna have a great time riding this, either snow, dirt, sand, or pavement. Now, the handlebar is well spaced. I do like how wide it is, and it's very easy to ride this bike. It does have on the sides these palm rests, so when you're holding it, your palm area here gets some really great support. It does not shift. We did talk about the fact that these are hydraulic brakes. I really like how responsive they are. Your controls here are pretty simple. Power this up, press it here, and this will power up, and you can see the MeeBike logo comes up. Love, love, love this display. We'll talk about the display a little bit later. What you also then have here is your pedal assist, and this is also used to navigate the menu. A little bell. We'll keep that quiet. Here are the keys that come with the system, but then you can see how nicely the cable management here is tucked away really nicely. Now, as we were discussing, the controls here for adjusting your front fork suspension are easy to access. They're very high up, and I kind of really dig that. Again, you don't have to lean forward when riding this bike because of how high the handlebar rides, and then the display here is just gorgeous. I love this display. I love kind of like that it's not just digital, as you can see here, but you also have this feedback area that actually shows your speed. There are several options that you can go through. So if we go into the menu, we'll see some of the things that are available. Now, the menu system is really nice. Basically, you can modify your display, you can get information, language, themes, password. It is Bluetooth enabled, so it does have a Bluetooth app that we'll take a look at, and then you could go ahead and exit. But you have also themes where you can change the color. This is kind of like my preferred theme, what you have here. And again, it's just a great looking display. Very easy to read even when you're riding. Now, for those of you curious about the actual lighting system, this is how bright this thing is. Again, very motorcycle-like. You can tilt this. I have it pointing further down. I like to illuminate where I'm going, but you could tilt it up, I would say more upwards to get more distance if you'd like, but this is perfect for me. Now, your Shimano shifter is pretty simple, right? So you have this we've seen on a lot of the bikes. So these are the two areas that you would interact with to either shift or go down in gear. You do have a twist knob right here, or a twist for the actual electric. And it's not a thumb throttle. So you want to make sure that, when you're done using the bike, even though it has wrist support here, that you don't leave it in any of the pedal assist modes. You don't want to risk by just grabbing it that you turn this and the bike could take off. So you want to make sure that you set that to 0, and then this is if you want to be able to just use 100% electric. This is where you do it, but then you also have your braking system on the side as well. Now in the back you do have a rear LED that as soon as you press the brake, that's what you'll see. Now, for those of you curious about the app, this is what the app would look like. Now, I do have an early release, so the logo or the bike itself isn't showing up as the bike that I have, but it'll give you details about the miles that you've ridden. It also is going to give you average speed. You can see your power. You can turn on and off the actual headlamp, which you can do both on screen as well as here. It also then has like kind of a GPS, so it's going to be almost like a Google Maps type solution. If we go into the settings area, you're going to be able to change the bike nickname. You'll be able to see any kind of notifications, terms of service. There's a Bluetooth lock level, and then also you have the different designations between miles per hour and kilometers. And then you can also adjust any kind of assistance that you have. All right, guys, so today we're taking a look at the MeeBike. Yeah, like my bike, but MeeBike. Now, this is an amazing looking bike. And right now, I'm doing everything human powered. I'm gonna switch to power assist for a second, so I don't run out of gas, human gas that is. And what I'll say is, this has the smoothest human to power, I would say, combination of any bike that we've reviewed now on the channel. And I've said this from some of the other ones, but I'm telling you, there's nothing like this. This has this incredible torque assist, if I put it in those terms, that as you're pedaling, it just contributes to your speed. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it another bump up. So right now we're on pedal assist 2 as we're doing this, and it feels very natural. While I still feel like I am probably going faster than I should,
just pedaling, it feels really, really nice. So we'll talk more about the powertrain and the experience in a second. I'm going to go electric. So a couple things to highlight. First of all, this has one of the nicest displays that I've seen on a bike. I really like the instrumentation panel that you have right here. The way this looks is really, really sharp. And it does have an app that goes with it, right? So the app controls a lot of the features of the bike, allows you to put in a lock if you'd like. And as you can see, this is a step-through bike. And even though it's a step-through bike, watch my pedaling. I'm able to extend pretty far down. So not quite 100%, but pretty far down. So the seat itself is high enough where I can pedal comfortably, as you can see me pedaling here. Now, this does have hydraulic shocks, which are adjustable right here, and you can adjust that. It does have hydraulic brakes, which is also really nice, and we'll come to a complete stop here. And they respond well. It has worry-free fenders for mud, which is also something really nice. Front and back disc for brakes as we tie to the hydraulic system. Has one of the brightest LEDs that we've had on a bike in quite some time. You're also looking at a nice marker in the back. So at night or as you press the brakes, people are going to see you. The bike is like very quiet, I'll have to say. It's super quiet. Even when I'm using the power, I just hear bike-like sounds. Like you can hear, kind of like if I were to pedal backwards, kind of hear the kind of little chain and clickety sound that you hear from a standard bike. Speaking about standard bikes, this is a 7-speed Shimano. It does have, in addition to that hydraulic system in the front fork, it does have in the back here, it actually has suspension, 2 shocks in the back that is kind of giving me some really nice support as I'm riding, right? In addition to that, you do have 20-inch, 4-inch wide, puncture-resistant tires that are made to eat up any terrain. So this is going to go sand, snow, mud, or city like what we are doing right here. So it's going to work in both areas. On the steering, if we look at the handlebar, for example, here in the front, we do have on each side some really nice palm support. So the palm support, if you take a look at it right here, is kind of wide enough where you can rest your palm and not suffer fatigue. Because let's face it, this thing can go far, like 80 miles far, combined human pedal as well as the power. Now, we're going to see the speed in a couple seconds, but this thing is, I think it's right now set at 20 miles an hour. But one of the things that you could do is you can open up slightly to go a little bit faster. We're going to see if we can get that done to see how fast or what the top speed is going to be. Let's talk about the actual throttle. The throttle is not a thumb throttle, it's an actual twist throttle. And as you can see it right here, the throttle, basically I would advise that anytime you have this type of throttle, which is kind of integrated into the handle like this, that it's important that when you're not using the bike or when you finish riding the bike, that you change the pedal assist down to 0. So on this side, I do have my controls, power, plus and minus, and by the way, it does have a nice navigation system that you can control on the app, or menu system rather. And that menu system, you basically are able to control it. These are like up and down buttons as well. Now the first thing we're going to do is we're going to check out our speed. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go at a pedal assist 1 first, right? Or actually 0. And we're going to let it kind of get almost to a complete stop. Right now it's like 0.3 miles. And what we're going to do is we're going to pedal. Oh my God. I like power. Starting a bike with no power is not fun. All right, so it's kicking up there. And what we're going to do is add some pedal assist. Oh, that felt much better. So now we're at pedal assist 1. And that wasn't leaping, as you saw. Pedal assist 2. Got a little bit more going there. We're going to go ahead and pedal assist 3. I can feel a little bit more coming in. We're going to do pedal assist 5 in a second. Actually 4. So there's 4. And I can feel a little bit more. My feet, probably going to have to change gears soon. They're not really doing much. And that's the highest that we got. Pedal assist 5. So let's see how fast I can go if I pedal. All right, 17, 18. Yeah, I brought it up to 18, human powered. We're gonna see how well this thing does on its own. Not a lot of power in this human. All right, so we have it on the 7th gear now, and we're gonna pedal and see what's the top speed on 7, electric, passive assist mode 5, and this is a comfortable, very comfortable 20 miles an hour.
So guys, that wraps up our review. See you in the next video.